Hi, it's Christina Myers, host of The Stina Life. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the shift of the collective consciousness into the 5D structure and how the lead up to the Pisces full moon pushed us into this state. And now what awaits us, including the restructuring of our crystalline bodies. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. If you're new to the podcast, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you to all of you who are returning. Well, it's been a week, hasn't it? And it's been changing by the minute, by the hour. And the lead up to the Pisces full moon was certainly nothing short of spectacularly crazy. It felt very much like a action movie or an adventure movie. It was just a combination of all of these different type of movies: comedy, drama, suspense, horror, sci-fi, everything mixed into one as we made our way up to that full moon. And there had been so much tension building as we led up to that, starting really with the 7-7 portal, then the 8-8 just blew it up. The 8-8 Lionsgate blew everything out of the water. And then we just kept going. One retrograde after another retrograde after another retrograde. And as I'd been saying, that Pisces full moon was going to be the game changer. And boy, was it ever. We had a massive shift in the collective consciousness. And, I think a lot of us like to label it as we've shifted into 5D, 5-dimension. And it certainly felt that way. It felt like we had really made a big turning point the morning of Thursday, August 31st, where we consciously moved out of the 3D programming, the enslavement, the structures, the heavy darkness that had been really ruling that 3D consciousness into this whole new consciousness of freedom. Freedom was really the big word, I think, that could describe how the shift felt. And there was an almost extremely immediate calmness that also came through, and an ability to just breathe, fully take a breath for the first time in a very, very, very long time. It's been an interesting ride on so many fronts. Venus was in retrograde during this period as well. And man, did we have to examine a lot of things, everything from our relationships to how we love people to the finances. And we're making a switch back. We just Venus went direct as I'm recording this a couple of days ago. And so we're integrating all of those changes now. But there has been a lot of loss through this process. There has been so many shifts through this process. For me personally, there was a lot of grief happening. A lot of people who I thought were friends, who I thought were allies, who I thought were on my side, who supported me, who loved me unconditionally. That wasn't the case. That wasn't the case at all. And while it was heartbreaking at the time watching all these shifts occur and people kind of flipping on you all of a sudden and changing really quickly, I just know that this was for the best. This was meant to happen, and it was meant to happen for a reason. And just like I've always approached my life, everything happens for a reason. And I've had to just let a lot of people go with love. And I've also had to do the same thing where I've had to just make some changes on who I would allow into my energy field moving forward. And there were a lot of people who wanted to steal my light, wanted to suffocate my light, wanted to make sure that my light couldn't shine at all. And that wasn't going to happen. Not at all. And as I said, if you episodes back, the takeover of Gaia, the takedown of Gaia, the harming of Gaia was not going to happen on my watch at all. So there was this split, and it's a split of consciousness for sure. And, everybody can't be on the same wave of consciousness unless they actively choose to be there. And so this created some split of factions. And that's what started to really emerge as we moved into that morning of Thursday, August 31st. There are those that are going to stay in the three-dimensional world. They just are. They're going to complete their contracts and they're going to stay in that three-dimensional environment. Do they have the option to move into the 5-dimension consciousness? Absolutely. Everybody has an option. Everybody has free will. And there's absolutely options in which to go towards the light and to move into the state of freedom. There are also those in the 3D world that were malevolent. And I don't normally like to talk about light and dark. I don't like to necessarily focus on that. But it was something that was so prominent in my personal situation and for others that were around me that were also going through similar situations that I can't help but acknowledge it. There certainly has been a faction who have wanted to keep everyone in a controlled state. They do not have the best interest of other humans at heart. They do not have the best interest of the planet at heart. They do not have the best interest of the environment, of the animals, of the species at best heart. And so I do consider those folks that are doing that and have tried and attempted to do that to not be of the light. They are operating at a vibration that does not align to love. It is aligned to greed. It is aligned to bitterness, to control, to fear, to a lot of things that are not aligned to the heart. And the shift that we are going through is 100% aligned to the heart chakra. The heart chakra was front and center of this experience, of this shift. And again, there's still opportunities for some people to make that shift, to tap into their heart, to drop these constructs that they have been designed around them to stay in. Light is always an option, always. And it's a matter of going to the light and making the conscious decision to make that switch. Now we're recalibrating. So for those of you that are in 5D, have moved your consciousness into this level, congratulations. It's been a long, hard battle for many, many lifetimes for you. And you did it. You're here. Right now, many of you are getting your crystalline body activations. Some of you have been having this activate long before this move happened on the 31st. But not everybody has been fully processed through that activation point. So the vision that my guides have been giving me is basically a cell phone. And, it's like charging your cell phone. So some of you are at 5%, some of you are at 15%, some of you are at 50%. Some of you may be at 100% already. But there is a processing that has to you have to go through in order to activate those light body pieces. And so these calibrations that are happening are going to be a little bit different. It's different, I think, than what you've maybe felt from the geomagnetic pieces or the solar flares that you have maybe felt that have been occurring in a lot. I mean, it's been a ramp up of those things happening to assist us for sure over the past few years. They've been at unprecedented amounts. But this is going to really impact your physical body. So the crystalline activations are impacting your DNA structure. You're still going to have a human outer shell because we're still straddling between the density of 3D and 5D. If we were to go into 5D and just become light beings, we would probably implode. That we couldn't withstand actually being here at all. And so there's a transition period that has to happen before we fully get into the next phases. And there's more phases coming. 5D isn't the ultimate end of any of this. If you think about the chakra system within the body, there's 7 main chakras. And then there's chakras actually that go above your head that go all the way up to the 12th chakra. So 5 is not that far up the ladder if you think about it. If the ultimate nirvana state is 12th dimension or 12th chakra, that is one with God. That is one connection. We have a little bit further to go. So the 5D is not about, all of these things were going to happen. Life as you know it is going to be different, but it's going to be, in some ways, there will be some familiarity. Where you're going to start to see more changes is really in the external of structures. The structure's changing. And then you're going to feel it also within your own system, your own body. So the crystalline is your DNA. Your DNA is being completely recoded. And for many of you, as I talked about on the last podcast about soul walk-ins, many of you were soul walk-ins in this lifetime. And there came a different type of structure, DNA structure, that you already had embedded within you. You already had the embeddedness of the crystalline pieces within you. It was just a matter of activating those pieces when the time was right. You're also going to see activations of gifts as well now that you've moved into this consciousness. And for many of you, those gifts were not able to come online until we as a collective were able to move more into the state. And there had to be a large percentage of us to move in to the 5D consciousness in order for these activations to occur. Because for many of you, the gifts and the missions that you are here to do are just now starting. They are just now starting. And they couldn't start at all until we got here. So you're going through a massive shift. You're going to feel floaty. You're going to feel out of body. You're going to definitely have a lot of stuff going on with your crown chakra, with your third eye. You're going to notice that people look at you weird. Maybe don't want to interact with you because the vibration that you carry is of such a different frequency now. And that's where the mismatch is. It's not about these factions of like just not having people in your life. There's a vibrational match that just doesn't resonate for most people. And sometimes that vibrational match is very triggering for people, very triggering. So you have to pay attention to that and not take things personally at all, because that vibrational match is going to cause discord for sure. That's why a lot of people have just completely stopped following, stopped communicating, completely ghosted. You think they're dead and they think you're dead. I mean, that's going to happen because the vibrational match cannot be sustained. You can't sustain that. And if it makes somebody uncomfortable because you're vibrating at a level that is in love and they're vibrating in a level that is in fear, they're not going to want to be around you. So rest is the most important thing right now. Drinking plenty of water. For some of you, your appetites may be completely um, suppressed. I know a lot of folks who are going through this right now where they just can barely eat anything, and I'm one of them. It's really hard to eat anything except fresh fruits, some vegetables. Very little heavy things can be consumed right now. Just the system cannot stand it. And the best thing you can do is nap and just sleep as much as you can sleep and really take care of you as much as you can. There is so much more coming in. There is so much more awaiting us. There are so many more gifts that are in front of us, but there's also going to be even more challenges in front of us. And again, it's really important for you to stay in your heart. And for those that are not aligning anymore, for those that may have hurt you, it is important to send love and forgiveness and empathy out to everyone. We, as humans, want to go to that space of anger, of pain, of whatever, running away from the situation because we get hurt. That's kind of the easy thing to do. But then there is the ability to look at somebody and understand that, they're just a person, a human being who's in pain. And if you can give them, just hold space. You don't have to interact with them, but just hold them in love and light. That'll hopefully help them move towards the light and not stay stuck in this place of fear or anger or whatever it is that they're holding on to. There will be lots more information coming out as we continue to navigate through these shifts. One of the big things that I've noticed is just the peace and calmness around. And the skies. The skies have been crystal clear for days, and the sun has radiated these beautiful sunbeams that I can just tell these crystalline codes are just flowing into Earth right now. And we have had a little bit of cloud cover, just a little bit. But, for years, I've been noticing how strange the clouds look and the chemtrails that have been in the sky. And ever since the switch, the clouds look different. They are more angelic. They're wispier. Even if there's rain, it's just this very gentle, sweet rain. And this cleansing effect is happening. And, I was saying that, we've been in this fire season for so long, so many wildfires all around the world. It's just been, it's so intense leading up to this shift. And now the rain's coming in. And I got the message that the rains were going to be really important because there is a cleansing process that needs to happen for Gaia right now and for us. We need to cleanse now. We've been carrying a lot of residual energies, and those residual energies need to be cleansed. Our systems need to be cleansed. Our auras need to be cleansed, and Gaia needs to be cleansed at this time. And so I would expect a ramp up of a lot more of the water energy coming in, more flooding, more unexpected heavy rains in different parts of the world, potentially more hurricanes, and even tsunamis coming through in certain areas of the world so that cleansing can take place. Gaia has been in a lot of pain for so long. She's been holding so much for all of us. And so she needs to go through her own recalibration process, just like you are, as she is also shed layers, literally layers of skin coming off of her as well. And there needs to be a regeneration process for her where she's going to need a lot of nourishment. And part of that nourishment is the water element to help replenish, requench, just having all of that energy to be able to regrow. You need lots of water to regrow and lots of water to bloom and thrive. And so I would expect more water energy to come through for sure. As I said, we are in a new era. We are in a new place. We are in a new mindset. There is hope again. There is optimism. There is joy, true joy. And there is relief for so many of you. I know I am feeling this at such a deep level, and so much gratitude, so much gratitude. We had so much assistance from the other side, enormous assistance from the other side. I can't explain how much assistance we had. And there was so much focus and investment to make sure that this beautiful planet that we live on is saved. It's a very special place, this Earth. And there's many, many special places within our galaxies and our universe, but this is a very special place. And I think that we have really gotten lost in that we have forgotten how special it is to be here and how very special it is to be a human being. So sit with that, sit with yourself, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself now. You can take care of yourself. There will be much more coming in future episodes, I know. And I just am so happy and so joyful and so blessed. And I'm wishing all of those blessings and love back to you all. Thanks for listening to this episode. You can find more information on sessions and classes at StinaMyers.com or follow me on Instagram and TikTok at The Stina Life. If you've enjoyed this episode, please follow and review. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.